The goal is to pull the sled across the full pull mark, and it's no easy feat. These guys will come out here and try to do exactly that. How do you pull that sled across the full pull mark? Well, it's the horsepower. Summer Classic. We're in Goshen, Indiana for one of the biggest pulls in the history of the country. They've been coming here for the better part of 20 years, and we've got two different exciting classes coming your way. One will be the methanol-burning unlimited super stockers, and Robert Clark, we're going to have these truck drivers. They're going to love us tonight because they're also going to have the hot rod semis out here. You like those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Robert Clark's been coming here for all 20 of those years. You've seen it all, right? Almost all 20 of them. So, hey, all those truck drivers out there have been talking about who can carry the biggest load for a number of years. And if you've got a truck, it doesn't matter if it's a conventional, a cab over, or even those bulldog levers. We've got a Mack in the field for you. So stick with us, baby. We got a lot of action coming your way. For more on tonight's event, let's go to my colleague, Ted Brunson.
You are looking at the points leader thus far in 2007. This is the Silver Bullet, driven by Jordan Lustig. He and his crew, with the final preparations, just put the final weights into the front end as they get ready to tear up this track in Goshen, Indiana. Jordan, sure, 6-time national champion, going for more, but he's got some competition. Let's talk about Jason Evans in the Big Toy 2. How about Dwayne Schroeder? They're all good competitors. It's a very violent class. 650 cubic inch maximum. The only thing stock in this unlimited super stock class is the engine block. Everything else you could just go nuts with. You can really have a lot of fun, be very creative, and be careful. Get out of their way. They don't stop.
Well, there's 3 toy tractors in the field here today. The first one we'll see is driven by John Evans out of Wilmington, Ohio. It's called the Big Toy 2. Former national champion, and listen to this thing, man. They just sound like they're percolating. Smooth and easy, 329.42, and kind of sashayed across the lane there, and he got it done. Looking awesome.
I definitely call that dancing on the dirt, as you saw him fishtail there off the line. Looked like he was going to lose some of his distance on the end, but he got it straightened out. The front end comes up in the air very, very nicely as he rides down the center of the track. Doing a great job from the pilot seat up there, giving equal pressure to each brake so he keeps it straight, because it's really wanting to pull off to each side. You couldn't ask for a better run there.
Very nice looking pull. Sid Broughton is up next, the Desperado. Sid Broughton, originally coming out of the Northeastern Division, did a great job up there, finally went to the National Division, and now has proven he can run with the big dogs. On a great pull for the man from Silver Springs, New York, but it's not going to be enough here today. 317 is going to lay it just a little bit short.
Check out the dirt being whisked away by those big 30.5-inch rear tires out there behind the sled. Very, very sandy track here in Goshen, Indiana. And these guys have to make sure that they've got their tire pressure set just right so that they don't just stand on top and just shift that dirt around.
All right, not quite a full pull. 317.77, just missed it. Talk about the track setup and how it worked for you.
Well, I pulled the weight back and I shut now. I should have left it back. It was just took a little too long to get it moving.
Here comes the man they've all been chasing for a number of years, Jordan Lustig in the Silver Bullet, another spectacular machine. Of course, this one has the V8 power plant under the hood. I don't know if they look any prettier than that. Man, the front end just proud the entire time there, Leslie. Straight and true. What an impressive pull.
That's unbelievable. It's almost like it was a fake setup there, like he was just on a little tilt and he was riding on those wheelie bars the whole time, but that's not the case. You see where he's got his weights painted on the front end. They're inside there. Good distribution. You couldn't ask for anything prettier than this.
Jordan, you are on a roll, so to speak, lately. 3:48.48. You're just blowing by everybody.
Well, we're trying. We're pulling hard for Generac here out on the Lucas Oil Power Tour. We're trying our hardest, try to keep the points alive, just try to make the best pass we can, not beat ourselves, and just try to pull out a win.
Hey, Ted, there's a lot of great competitors in this class. Who's your dark horse today?
All right, we know the points leader is Jordan Lustig, and we know there are a lot of great competitors out there. Mentioned before, one guy to look out for who's really on a hot streak, Tim Howell in Ryan's Toy. Caught up to him, saw him blowing off the turbo. It's right before he's ready to go out. This guy has really got things dialed in. He's finally happy with his combination, and no matter what the dirt, he says he is absolutely ready for this event.
We've seen some great pulls so far. Tim Howell and Ryan's Toy 2.
He's going to take some extra time to bring up the boost pressure off the line. These unlimited super stock tractors can have up to 4 turbos. The Ryan's Toy 2, 3 turbos, 2 pressure stages, 2 small ones feeding into one great big giant one, feeding all that air into the cylinder head to help create horsepower.
And Tim Howell will also make the pull off here today. It seems like they had this track figured out. I notice you can see the weights on the front of this tractor.
Great shot. Count him as he goes down the track. If you can keep up with that guy, he's going so fast. Each one of those weights on the front end weighing 100 pounds. He's got a little bit of up and down in his teeter-totter. Wants to keep it strong and steady and keep that front end up the whole entire time, but it doesn't matter here because he makes it in the pull-off as well.
Our next competitor is Jason Evans, this time driving the big toy.
Jason, a rookie driver out here in the seat of the big toy. So you see him rolling it out there a little bit. Looks like he might have a few problems, though.
Really starting off slow, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out for him here. It's less than 100 feet. He'll have another chance. In the meantime, let's go back to Ted.
Tim, I saw you at the start line, cooling off those turbos, getting things ready to go. Nice run, 3:26 and change. Now you got to hurry back, I know, because you're in the pull-off.
Yeah, we do. We got to get back, try to get the oil cooled down. If we can't get it cooled down, we're going to have to dump it, get fresh oil in it, get back after it.
And one more time, we'll see if Jason Evans can get a little better start here this time.
It even sounds better coming off the line this time. You can really see him picking up that front end and launching it down the track.
And both feet flat on the floorboard there. Neither one of them near the brake pedals. That's exactly what you want. He'll get out into the full pull area and, of course, make the pull off.
Got off to that shaky start, but on this sandy soil, sometimes you've just got to roll it out of the hole. You want to get a great hole shot, so once you get moving and grooving down the track, you've got great traction. You're not whisking away that dirt behind you. And I tell you what, he didn't want to get out of the throttle. He was heading for that sand pile.
All right, Jason, little problem there off the start, but boy, it's nice to have a second chance, isn't it? Even though those turbos were popping a lot, you got some power at the end.
Yeah, there's a rookie mistake up there at the line. Got to hold that clutch a little longer. So we'll see what happens in the pull-off here. Hopefully all 3 robbers can get it out the gate. Hopefully we get 1, 2, 3.
Patrice Beaudry and the Crazy Canuck, typically a V8, not so today.
Last weekend at their hometown pull in St. Hyacinth, Canada, hurt the motor really bad, so he's got 2 cylinders blocked off tonight. Whoa!
That one's spitting oil everywhere. Obviously grenaded the bottom end out of that one, and it's done.
Check out the oil, not your traditional black color. That's what happens when all that torco-methanol alcohol mixes in with that Lucas oil. Great off the line. It looks good. You see it launch, and then pop, it's gone.
They did patch the block. They also patched the oil pan. It looks like the patch on the oil pan right there failed. That'll also give you a good idea of how much crankcase pressure these things are actually building. Man, it just grenaded that thing off.
Once you lose your oil pressure, it's all over. A lot of these guys have a light on the side to tell them when it's gone, and you can see the light going off there.
Owensboro, you had such a tough time. Went all the way back home to Canada to fix this thing, and now you got this. This is snake bit, man, in a week.
Yeah, I guess we had some problems started in Owensboro. We had a couple of very good passes, but come home, we had a pull at home, and actually threw a rod through the block at home, fixed it for the next night, and came here, and obviously there's still something wrong.
Stay with us here at the R&L Carriers Summer Classic. We're here with the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League R&L Carriers Summer Classic. And it's all powered by Generac generators. Ken Stout with you, Leslie Mears alongside. We do have a pull-off here in the Unlimited Superstock category. 4 tractors coming back. Everybody fighting for the win here. We'll find out if they can get that done. John Evans, the first one to back up to the sled. The Big Toy 2 with another crack at it. Now, Leslie, this won't be the same sled configuration they had the first time.
That's right. In the pull-off, they want to tighten it up. Tighten up the sled, make it a little bit heavier. We don't want to see them sailing out there past 340 feet. So these guys are going to stop short.
292.07 will be the official mark to beat here in the pull-off.
John Evans looks like the same setup he had before. Center of the track, front end dangling on the dirt, does a great job. Doesn't have to get on the brakes at all. Just a picture-perfect run. But like you said, Ken, tightened up the sled back there. Don't want to see him sailing out through the end. But he's going to take this run of 292, go back, tell his teammates what they can do to push it out there even further because they're running up against a tough Silver Bullet and Jordan Lustig.
What a spectacular looking machine. All the weight boxes painted beautifully. And he will officially pass that mark. 297.57 now the mark to beat.
A great hole shot, coming out strong, front end lifts really good, and then he gets about half track, and you see the front end is down just a little bit. That's when you see that General Tire sled box top right off. It's putting all the force of the weight of the sled behind him, and he's really got to create a lot of horsepower to drag that thing down the track. The Grouser bars digging in. It wasn't that pretty, but it sure got the job done.
My, what a difference some weight makes. About 50 feet less, but you do find yourself in the lead with 2 more to go.
For right now, Bullet is pulling good. It's a tough pull out there. Track's a little bit loose. Glad we got some K&N filters on the front of this thing, keeping the dirt out of the engine. But tractor's been pulling well. We'll see what happens. We're going to keep our fingers crossed.
Tim Howell up next in the Ryan's Toy 2, and that's the good thing about having those teammates or having a previous tractor out there to come back with a little more information. 297.57 the mark to beat. Oh, wow. Oh, so close, but not enough.
That white smoke means that it's really, really hot when they're getting to the bottom end down there. You think these things get hot after one run? This is Tim Howe's 3rd run on the Ryan's Toy 2. He was our test puller tonight, so he actually had that run at the track. Then he came back in the official running of the class and now in the pull-off. Had the leaf blower out back there in the pits trying to cool this thing down. Those turbos getting super duper hot as they're trying to force all that air down in the engine and create more horsepower.
Jordan Lustig still your leader with a Silver Bullet at 297.57. Up next, another one of the big toys. And Jason Evans is going to miss it by 10 feet. He will not get it done tonight. And the Silver Bullet with a spectacular job.
Lots of good information going back there to the toy team, and they've got great setups. You see the wiggle back to the middle there. That's where he hits the brake, brings it back to the center of the track so he can pull that sled in line. We all know that once you hit those brakes 5 to 10 feet off your final distance, he would have been right up there with the Silver Bullet.
All right, you won in Owensboro 5 days ago, and now you win again today. I don't even need to say you're on a roll because you're just beaming ear to ear.
Well, we're just totally ecstatic. It's our tough time of the year. We've got a lot of pulling, a lot of days. For the Bullet to pull out 2 wins like that, we're really proud of it. Generac generator behind us here. We won it. We're just so excited.
And Jordan Lustig will also capture the Torco Racing Fuels fan favorite. Now we'll take a look at the points, and they're all chasing Jordan Lustig with the Silver Bullet, Ryan's Toy, and the Big Toy 2 in 2nd and 3rd place. Stick with us. We have more action from the R&L Carriers Summer Classic. Welcome back to the R&L Carriers Summer Classic here with the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. We're about to bring up the Hot Rod Semis next, and with more on that, let's go to Ted.
You're looking at a 1970 Chevrolet Semi. This is the Hot Rod Semi category. This particular machine, driven by Mike Larrabee, undefeated on the season. 6 events, 6 wins. He's going for lucky number 7. 35-point lead. That's pretty big right now. A little bit about this class. Really no limits. You have to have a truck engine. That's about it. But the only limit you have is you can have up to 4 turbos. Yeah, not really much of a limit, right? This one only has 1. 2,100 horsepower, 4,500 torque. Really gets moving. Lots of tire speed, lots of power. Fans absolutely love it. You never know what to expect.
Dana Lindsay will be up first, the red hot and rolling. We've talked about her before, of course, a former champion inside of the category. It's very impressive, though, when you think about the fact that they have to do this on DOT tires.
The Lucas Oil Propylene League installed a rule this year where they actually changed the hook point, which makes it harder for them to do it on those DOT tires. They've got to figure out their weight. They had a higher hook point, which put more weight of the sled on those rear tires. Now they've got to figure out with the lower hook point where to put that extra weight to help those sink into the ground and really claw their way out there.
And Dana Lindsay is always tough. She'll start things off at 292.14. Pretty nice looking pull here, and you can see those front drive tires really squatting.
And you see her jump off the line, and you see all that torque. That's what these guys are doing. They're trying to make all the horsepower, force the power to the rear end. Great shot of the rear tires you saw there, squatting down, flicking that dirt off. It's not like they're even sinking in real hard, just flicking it off the top of the soil and just really hauling the mail coming down the track.
Good job for Dana. They'll all be chasing the lady here tonight. Next up for you Bulldog fans, Dan Adams is out here with a truck called Some Assembly Required, the Big Mac. Does not sound good, Leslie. This doesn't sound like it has the RPM, quite possibly a wrong gear here.
It also looked like as the smoke started to cloud up around his pipes that he just wasn't moving it out of the engine fast enough. He took a long time to come off the line, and he probably could have sat back there a little bit longer to help build some more RPMs. We saw in the Unlimited Super Stock tractors what happens when you let the clutch out too soon and you come off the line before your RPMs are up. You just don't go anywhere, and that could be his biggest problem here tonight.
Yeah, once that clutch is out, it's very difficult to build any more RPM. Next up, Lou Shanklin in the black sheep. Oh man, he's got stuff, the hoses flying around in the back of that old Dodge. Like water sports back there. And how about that? 293.89 flames out of the pipes. You just gotta love it. The front bumper all tore up on it, man. It's not pretty, but it gets it done.
Well, all that water in the back, that's the radiator. When you're looking at his grill, it's all engine up there. So these things going to get really, really hot, especially since he doesn't have any water in his radiator, since it's flying all over the track. Gets great torque. You see that twist in the frame, pouring all that horsepower to those rear tires, just really doing a fine job. And who knows, if those hoses hadn't come loose, he might have been able to get a little bit better distance as he's heading out to the sideline, had a cooler engine.
Well, Lou was a little doubtful at first, didn't know if you're going to hook that thing up, but you did, and now you're a leader by about 1.5 feet, 293.89.
That might hold up for a little while, but I'll look for another red truck to go on past that.
Yeah, I think we know who you're talking about, but there's only a few trucks left, man. This could be your night. You could knock off the dude at the top right now.
Right now, I have a chance of doing what nobody else has done yet and beating Mike Larrabee. We'll see if we can pull it off.
We have more Hot Rod Semi-Actions coming to you. Stay with us.
Welcome back, fans. We're here in Goshen, Indiana. We couldn't have asked for a better day out here today, and we're going to bring it right back to you with some more of that Hot Rod Semi-Action.
And the man that everybody is chasing, Mike Larrabee and the Shameless.
The Shameless truck has a slight advantage over the others in the field tonight. Remember, we talked about that hooking point. Mike ran the Shameless all last year with that lower hooking point, so he's used to it, so he's got a bit of an edge on the guys out here tonight.
And once again proves that they're all going to keep on chastening. Wow, what a spectacular job out of the Chevy.
He's pouring it on right off the line. You see the front tire up in the air, really pouring that horsepower into those rear DOT tires. He's got that hooking point figured out, and he's moved a lot of that 20,000 pounds of weight to the rear end. That way with the low hooking point, it's going straight to the tires, and he can just blast it out the end.
On board with Mike Larrabee, 1,150 cubic inches of KT 450 Cummins. And he got the job done here tonight. Let's send it down to Ted.
Mike, you can't put a single turbo under more stress than you just did right now, and the crowd loved it. 328.72.
Right.
You're unconscious, dude.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. This old Hales Harley-Davidson Moser Industrial Services Chevy is just running.
I tell you, I talked to Lou a little bit before, and he said, I don't know. I don't think that's going to hold up.
He made a heck of a run, didn't he?
He did. He did, but, you know, they're all afraid of you, man. I mean, you could be going for 7 in a row right now.
All right, I hope we can hang in there. We got 2 regular trucks yet, at least, and they are tough. They're former champions in this circuit, and we hope we can hang in there.
Mark Riggle and Something from Nothing. 1984 Kenworth, obviously cab over. And the 04 champ's not going to have enough to get it done here today. 241, not even close.
You see a lot of clouds behind those rear tires back there, and it looks like he's just spinning those tires on top of the dirt. Remember, this Goshen track is awfully sandy, and they've got to find a way to get through the sand and get down to the heart of the track to really spin it out there and push out their distance.
Tom Lindsay and the Black Thunder will be up next. Of course, husband of Dana Lindsay. We saw it here earlier. And again, you could just hear it pulling that engine down. Not enough horsepower. It sounded like he got off to a decent start. Maybe a wrong gear again.
Rear tires spinning right on top of the dirt back there. The sled weight is going to come up really fast on these guys, so they got to make sure that they get hooked up early. If they're spinning on top, they're not going to be hooked up, and they're just going to continue to sit there and spin and spin. You can see that little dent it's leaving in the dirt there. Just not enough to pull it out like it needs to be.
And this is all about that different hook height that you talked about. They have to find that sweet spot, and it's very difficult.
Spreading that 20,000 pounds over 25 feet is just really tough for these guys.
Here's a look at the points in the Hot Rod Semis. After 7 events, the Shameless is the truck to beat. He has been the man all year long. Let's go down to 10.
All right, man, 7 in a row. There's no way you could be stopped, it seems, right now.
Oh, we can be stopped. Just not today. Just not today.
You got a great team, man. They're the ones that help you get it all together.
We got a good team. We got a couple good sponsors of our own, Hales Harley-Davidson and Moser Industrial Services. And this Lucas Oil pulling series is just awesome.
And our General Tire hookup of the day to Mike Larrabee.
He lives another day with that bullseye on his back. They're really chasing him down, but this single turbo truck is really tough, and they're going to have a hard time with it.
For Leslie Mears and Ted Brunson, I'm Ken Stout. Thanks for joining us here at the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.